Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about another crazy seller finance deal. This one in Pine, Arizona, which is 2-hour drive from the Phoenix Metro. I've never been, but I heard it's a cute little town. I looked up the weather, and it's 25 degrees on average, less than Phoenix, which makes it ideal getaway, being only 2 hours away during our crazy summer months. And if you want to see a little cold weather during the holidays that's coming up, or maybe even a little snow, that's a good destination. This cabin is a 2020 build. I don't see a lot of these newer builds coming out like this, but it's beautiful. You'll see from the pictures that we go around, and the terms on it are absolutely insane. When you combine the seller's equity being principal only and ballooned out after 6 years and the mortgage of only 2.99%, they're about 50-50. The combined interest rate on the balance of this property after your down payment, which is low as well, is 1.7%. So 1.7% compared to if you were buying it traditionally at 7.5% right now, that's a swing of like 6% interest, which is about 60% payment. So it's absolutely crazy. Let's get into the numbers here as we're looking through these pictures. And if you have any questions, my contact info is in the description below. I come out with videos like this on a pretty regular basis, as well as investor content, market contact in the Phoenix area. I specialize as an investor-friendly agent here in Phoenix. Look me up. I love to talk real estate, like to talk strategy, property management, you name it. You want to get together while you're in town visiting Phoenix, reach out to me, and I'll see you then. Until then, let's get into the specifics of this deal. I can't mention the address here because I got flagged for that on one of my last videos, but I'll just say it's in the town of Pine. I looked and I Googled walking from the cabin to like the downtown. There's a couple little restaurants and bars that look pretty cool down there. You have to go out and around the neighborhood. By the time you do that, it's a 1.3 miles to all that stuff, which is in walking distance. It's a 2020 build, as I mentioned. I don't get a lot of these new builds on this, but this one, purchase price is $675K. Now, when I looked at Pine and tried to do comparables to new construction, new build, there was none. There was only 3 new cabins in the entire town. The population of this town is only 1,800 people. And there's only a few built in the last 5 years or so. So it was kind of hard to comp, but I didn't, it looked a little pricier than some of the comparable 2 bedrooms, but those are like 15, 20 years older. If you're me, I like the newer. You're going to have less maintenance. The design's typically better. So happy to share those comps with you. The entry fee on this is great because we try to keep these anywhere from 10 to 15% of purchase price entry fee. And that includes your cash to seller, any transaction, whether agents or brokers or closing costs. All in combined on this are only $67K. So that's right around 10%. We did that intentionally to make it attractive to many buyers. The cash to seller is $50K. There's no arrears on it, so he's all caught up on everything. Of course, title and everything we do through there will verify all of that. The closing costs, I expect to be around $3K. It's usually like when you're doing seller finance, it's about 1% of the transaction cost, which is much less if you close a property. Lately, it's usually combined 3 or 4% between the buyer and seller. So I put that at $3,000. Your earnest deposit on this is going to be $5,000, depending on the amount of traction I would expect, and I'm seeing already just from one social media post. There's going to be multiple people interested in this property, and sometimes we'll ask that earnest money to go hard, just because when you sell this way and then you're getting so much interest and traction, you want to make sure the buyer you're working with is the one you end up closing with. And a lot of times, whether you're a seller or in this case buying, the seller might want to have that earnest money based on how many people are reaching out hard. And that's what I recommend in this case. The underlying conventional mortgage on this, again, 2.99%, $320K balance, 27 years remaining on that. There's no balloon payment, so you can let that mortgage of $320K ride through the life of the loan. The principal equity build, I love this, and you see this when you have low interest rates on deals, is that the equity buildup, so going to principal only, is $648 a month. So that's about a third of the mortgage, which is awesome. The interest is $799 a month. Taxes, insurance, $461. When you do these, when you buy a property, that amortization schedule makes it so interest is mostly up front and it gets more and more principal paid down as you go, which is great for you as the owner because you build equity. Now, the HOA on this is $39 a month. Crazy low compared to Phoenix. I'm not sure what else other HOAs are doing up in Pine. And then the other half of this is a purchase money note. So this is the seller's equity. After the purchase price, we take out the down payment. You owe the seller the remaining balance, the mortgage balance that you're taking over, and then the equity. So the equity on this is $304K, just under half of what the mortgage is. Principal only, 0% interest on that $304K, and it's going to be paid out to keep it affordable for the buyer to make sure they're in a cash flow positive place. $100 a month to start. Year 2 is going to be $200 a month. Year 3, $300. So a little bit graduated schedule. After 6 years of that schedule, payments on equity, a balloon's going to be due. So you'll either refinance the property, sell the property, or have to come with that cash some other way, in this case, to get the seller whole on the remaining equity in the property. The best way to rent this is going to be Airbnb, which it is today. The furniture conveys with the property, so it's pretty much everything you need to make it a turnkey Airbnb day one, which I always recommend, especially like a place like this, where it's in Pine, a couple hours from Phoenix. A lot of the buyers are going to want to go visit the place a couple times a year, and it's just easier when it's an Airbnb. You control the calendar and you get in what you want, as opposed to a long-term rental. You're not getting into that property, so it's really just rental purposes only. For this might be a nice vacation home for somebody as well. But anyways, reach out. Any questions on this or other seller finance deals or what else is going on in the real estate world, especially here in Phoenix, Arizona. My contact info is in the description below. And I come out with videos on this a couple times a week. Also market trends and other investor and management type strategies. Reach out. If not, I'll see you on the next video.